Hello, beautiful people of the internet. Today we're going to talk about BNB or Binance Coin. It's cracked the top 3 cryptocurrencies by market cap. It's up 144% in the last 7 days, up 71% in the last 24 hours alone. We're going to talk about this price action here, some technical analysis, but also really talk about the project, why Binance Coin has gone on this major ramp that we've seen here. And besides the Binance exchange, what other positives, what else does it have going for it? And hang out to the end to get my prediction of where this coin ends up at the end of 2021 on this market cap list. But hi, this is Brandon with Crypto Trades and Tech. So let's dive right into BNB or Binance Coin. Now, many of you know this obviously is the utility token for Binance, the exchange. So from a technical analysis perspective, we had this really nice consolidation pattern here. I'm on the 4-hour chart from the 10th of February all the way up to the 17th, and it just broke out hard. A little bit of consolidation there and a little bit of consolidation here, but it hasn't been doing much consolidation since then. Now, currently, it's obviously run enough that I don't think that you can actively open trades using any longer time frame methodology. It's up 170% in a couple of days here. All right, but what can you do with Binance? What is this utility token again? What does this coin allow you to do? Well, first, it allows you to pay for trading fees on Binance Exchange, and it gives you a discount on those trading fees. I've talked about this before that, if you are trading on Binance, be sure to have some BNB because you'll get I believe it's about a 25% discount on trading fees. Now, you can also use BNB to participate in the Launchpad, Binance Launchpad. And if we go over here and take a look at the Launchpad program, it's a way you can help fund new up-and-coming projects, but of course you have to fund them with Binance Coin or BNB. You can see here this incubation program as well is tied to that. So it's a incubation for up-and-coming projects. The other thing you can do with it is it actually can be used as a currency. So there are many vendors that do accept BNB. As you can see here, a list of vendors that do accept BNB today. It's not necessarily a huge list, but there are vendors out there that accept it. Now, here's the big kicker: is that BNB is used on the native binary, the Binance decentralized exchange. And also, you see here the news from CoinDesk. Here we've got a news article that PancakeSwap, which is a fork of Uniswap, brings a large DeFi volume to Binance Smart Chain. So you see here in this article that we see that, again, PancakeSwap is a clone of Uniswap on the Binance Smart Chain, which is a parallel chain to the Binance native blockchain. Now, what is the Binance chain? So this chain that powers the decentralized exchange portion of Binance. Well, it's a proof-of-stake smart chain that allows, again, smart contracts to be written on it. The focus of it is really purpose-built for allowing assets to be created and exchanged. And it's Ethereum virtual machine compliant, as you can see here, that allows smart contract functionality compliant with the Ethereum virtual machine, which means that you still need a smart contract to implement a new token on the Binance chain, or the Binance Smart Chain more specifically. Now, this is a proof-of-stake, again, chain, but it's this hybrid 21 validated proof-of-stake authority chain. And it uses the standard Byzantine fault tolerance security mechanism. So you can see it's a variant of this delegated proof-of-stake, which EOS and other blockchains have used, but they combine proof-of-authority with the consensus mechanism. So it's both a delegated proof-of-stake and a proof-of-authority consensus. Now, it uses something called the Tendermint Byzantine fault tolerance consensus mechanism, with different nodes running in the network: validator nodes, witness nodes, accelerator nodes. It also has a block time of about 5 seconds, so it's a little bit faster, obviously, than Ethereum on transaction capabilities. Here's some details on the consensus engine of the Binance Smart Chain. Now, just for a recap, consensus is very important to any blockchain. This is how we get all of the participating nodes in the network to agree to a set of transactions. So at the end of a block, after the end of a certain period of time, we need all of the nodes to agree to come to what we call consensus. And so the consensus mechanism is the mechanism under which all of the participating nodes come to an agreement as to what the state of the network is at a certain period of time, or maybe more so the chain at a certain period of time. Now, also, it's not, there's two chains with Binance. It's a dual chain system, as they call it here. So there's Binance Chain And then there's this Binance Smart Chain, which allows you to build decentralized apps, and it allows you to implement new tokens using a Ethereum virtual machine compliant chain, of course. Now back to, Binance. Why is it pumping? Where is it headed? Oh, currently we see it has a market cap of $50 billion, and Ethereum's got a market cap of $224 billion. Now, the other projects that we're big fans of here are the Polkadot, which is a $31 billion market cap, and Cardano, which is a $29 billion market cap. Now, and then obviously Chainlink as well. But Chainlink doesn't play in the same realm as these others. So BNB is a utility token. You can think of it as a utility token for the Binance platform. It's also a project incubator platform. It has a limited amount of currency usage, so it can also be considered a currency. And it's very much empowers a decentralized exchange and a smart contract. So a lot of things rolled into one. The one thing to take away is that right now, today, this valuation is probably fair because as a utility token, it has more real-world usage than almost any other crypto, really, with obviously the exception of Bitcoin and Ethereum. So outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum, today, every other project we're talking about, Polkadot and Cardano, are still in development. Chainlink is still developing, and it's a robust platform, but Chainlink is also held back by the development of the entire crypto space as well as being the primary Oracle provider. But besides that, so Binance has multiple things rolled into one. However, what I want people to remember when you look at this coin and you consider buying into it is that really when you look at the long-term upside, I don't consider the Binance Smart Chain a competitor to Ethereum 2.0, to Cardano, or to Polkadot. It doesn't have the same level of technology that these other next-gen platforms have. So when we look at the overall capability of the space, today, right now, Binance Coin deserves to be up there because it's actually a real utility token that's used for real utility, and it also powers now a live smart contract chain that can be used in lieu of using Ethereum. It's Ethereum virtual machine compliant. But it in and of itself doesn't have any innovation that we haven't seen before. We've seen very similar mechanisms built into other chains like Algorand and EOS and Zilliqa, which some of these are still superior, and it's not to the same level as a Polkadot or Cardano as far as the capabilities of the underlying platform. So it's a long way of saying I don't think by the end of this year that you're going to see Binance Coin still at number 3. I still think that Binance Coin, it's getting a pump right now because it's got a lot of hype behind it. It's a well-known name, but these other platforms, these other projects, Polkadot and Cardano, I would expect to overtake Binance Coin as we get through this year, as they become very key platforms with a lot of activity on them. So right now, you think about it today as well, in the cryptocurrency landscape, there's a lot of activity on exchanges because what crypto is today is it's a very speculative asset. And so people are really buying and selling crypto, but the utility is coming. Let's flip over here to DeFi Pulse. The real value is coming. And obviously you see here that, go back to DeFi Pulse, value locked in DeFi is ramping. The DeFi world is coming. But when it comes to decentralized exchanges, what's the total addressable market of an exchange versus what's the total addressable market of a platform that enables a myriad of applications, including exchanges, non-fungible tokens, applications like secure medical data sharing, music royalties tracking, cross-border payments, IoT operations, personal identity security, anti-money laundering system, supply chain and logistics monitorings, voting mechanisms, which is a big deal, obviously, in the news recently, insights into all kinds of data, advertising, and other AI mechanisms, AI data, exchange data, original content creation, and then, of course, exchange platforms and real estate processing platforms are a whole bunch of really strong applications. So think of all those applications I just named. If you want exposure to literally all of those, being exposed to the platforms onto which those are going to be built is going to give you the most upside. And so this is why I still think that Ethereum, Cardano, and Polkadot have more long-term upside than the Binance Coin and Binance Chain. However, the one wrinkle in that is the incubator program and the launch pad. You know, one of the power of the Polkadot system is the incubation, the ability for it to incubate these really high upside projects. Well, Binance, the BNB coin, is also an incubator. And I've talked about that's, to me, the highest upside use case is what projects will it be an incubator for, and then what projects will go on to continue to use the Binance chain because of that incubation. So I think the incubation part of it is the highest upside part of the BNB token, honestly. So I could definitely see Binance Coin by the end of the year still cracking the top 5 and staying ahead of one of these other projects that I've talked about, Polkadot, Cardano, and Chainlink. But I still do see it falling behind those other projects as time goes on, just because I don't see the Binance Smart Chain as a really competitive chain to these other next generation chains. And there's tons of other potential incubators out there. There's going to be a lot of competition for incubation. But those are just my opinions on it. Let's take a look at the other crypto names out there. Obviously, we've had a nice breakout here. I was actually looking for a bit of a shakeout over this weekend, but ahead of that potentially happening, we definitely got a nice breakout here. So maybe we get a breakout, a little bit of a run, and then a shakeout. I still think a shakeout is coming at some point in here. We might have had it. This sell-off that we had early this month, and then the one that we had on the 15th. Those were 2, 8, or 10% sell-offs. I'm looking for a little bit bigger shakeout here just because the volatility is starting to rise. You see Polkadot's here pumping nicely. I'm just looking across. I haven't looked at these names in a bit here. But Bitcoin's broken out. I've seen a lot of people have a price target of 57,000 before maybe it cools off a little bit. Obviously, we see that it's come into 56.5, which is pretty close to the 57 that's been named as a target. I just do some quick trend lines on my chart here based on the price action I'm seeing here. You can see that maybe we have come into some trend line resistance here on this kind of parabolic uptrend that we're into. Got something similar happening over here on Ethereum. We see that there's a bit of an uptrend. If you take this and turn this into some trend lines here, we can maybe start to track some potential new trend lines that I need to work on these charts myself. If I get a chance, I'll go live later and we'll take a look at these charts together. But back to Binance Coin, to give us the best price targets, I think the BNB BTC chart is going to give us the best data for that. And so the reason I say that is I was eyeing some of these levels. I'm just going to work on them live here as we work on this video together. These levels that I was seeing, I'm seeing some channels form on a long duration. I was looking at these. So I think this potential level up here, coming in at 0069 or 007 roughly Satoshis, might be a level to look at for the top end of this BNB coin expansion phase. Now, it's obviously overheated and it needs a little bit of consolidation. Perhaps we get some consolidation, you know, in this range. What I'm kind of looking for, all this back here. I was also tracking this breakout here that we're seeing live on DOT. Just FYI, this was a beautiful breakout of this upward trend line, retest and resumption. I thought about putting on a trade there, but everything's been so overheated that I'm cooling my jets on adding new trades right now. I'm just managing the trades I have open, upping the stop losses again, because I think that I'm really looking for a shakeout to happen here. See this big sell-off right here? I'm looking for something like this sell-off that we had back on the 14th to potentially occur over this weekend. So I kind of thought that also Ethereum might break through 2K and run up to 2254 before getting some sort of rejection and then a shakeout. Now I keep calling for a shakeout, not because I think it's going to be a prolonged sell-off, just because I see volatility rising. We're entering that FOMO phase, and before we really go parabolic in the FOMO phase, I really expect some big shakeout activity. So that's kind of what I'm just waiting on to see if that happens. All right, guys. Well, that was it. I've been out of the groove for a bit, so I'm just trying to get back into the rhythm here a little bit. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. If you like this content, if you find this content valuable, please consider liking, subscribing, maybe sharing these videos. And happy crypto hunting, everybody.